Hello, darlings, and welcome to Performance Perspective. It's me, Care Darling, and this is the show where we share our perspective on different musicals, whether they're on film or on the stage. And don't forget to subscribe, because today we're talking about the Addams Family musical. But before we do, okay, this wig, listen. I was Madison King from She-Hulk, and I did it for the past 2 days, and this wig was living. My husband was Wong, so if you want to see like cute little videos like that, I am Care Off Book on Instagram and TikTok. Also, happy Halloween. So I wanted to get into the spooky sort of time, as you can see the different musicals that I talked about, but today it's all about Addams Family. And I remember seeing it. It was kids were doing it, and I have to say that I remember thinking this wasn't great, but it was good. And then I was able to see what it looks like in a full production way, and I have to say it's so entertaining and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the thing about musicals is, you know, when you think about back in the day of these movie musicals and how it's really is in its own world and set that they created in, but it's because, you know, people wanted to go see the movies to be able to escape. Versus nowadays, I think everyone's more gearing towards, I want it to feel real, I want it to be authentic, but we then lose like all these fun make-believe worlds and stuff. Like even when I'm thinking of Marvel and Star Wars, like yes, it's fantasy, but as far as the writing and what people want, they want to feel a sense of, I relate to that. But then if we do something, I think people are more forgiving believing in superheroes than they are believing in someone just busting out into song. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're a fan of musicals, so am I, and we shouldn't be in a place that we are embarrassed about it. Listen, especially in today's world, maybe we do want that little escape, and Addams Family is a great musical to escape into. So the premise of the story is, of course, it's the Addams Family, but guess what? Wednesday falls in love, and she's ready to introduce the man to her family. It is very much Hotel Transylvania kind of vibes, as like different type of girl, normal kind of guy. And maybe the reason why a lot of people gravitate towards Addams Family is the sense that in the end of the day, they have similar family values. They just have different standards of like how they show love to each other and what they do as a family. So, you know, as they say in the lyrics, they're kooky, yet they're so spooky. I actually really like all the characters in the show. But I have to say my favorite one is, I almost said Bertram, because the original who played Uncle Fester is Bertram in that nanny show. But him as Uncle Fester, oh my gosh, it is the most wholesome thing I've ever seen. I don't think it's a huge spoiler alert, but his thing is he makes an announcement and he's fallen in love. And everyone's like, oh, Fester, that's great. And he's like, with the moon. And I was like, what? What in the Princess Frog is happening? I'm like, I can't do it again. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I think that's what it is about the Addams Family, is that it's something that you can relate to, but it's so extreme that either you laugh along with them or you start to melt because you're like, that was the most like, cute thing ever. I'd say if the show is in your area, absolutely go see it. You may enjoy watching musicals on TV, but there is something about going and seeing a production and seeing it live that it really is, it's a cliche, but it is electric. Now, I would like to give some directing notes with my thirsty hair. I will say this is, I watched a couple shows, and whether it was, Community, Kids, more high value. And I will say this, there's only one mistake that I keep seeing with the younger ones that play Morticia. I think that for the younger ones who don't necessarily know the show back in the 60s or even the movie. Oh, also, random trivia. The Addams Family and the Munsters came out during the same time, and they were canceled during the same time because the public wasn't as interested in them. But of course, we know that's not true. It's just, I guess it wasn't as vocalized. And the thing that I was like, this makes sense, is that Gomez and Morticia on the 60s show, they were the first couple to allude that they slept together. Now, you got to keep in mind that during the sitcoms in those days, the husband and wife would be in separate beds, so then people won't think they did anything, which is interesting because then they have kids, and you're just like, okay, but whatever. Also, Uncle Fester was originally written to be Morticia's brother, and then through time they switched it that he is Gomez's brother. Okay, so back to my notes is that sometimes I see some people play Morticia and they play her very mean and dominating. I'm not a fan of that character choice because to me, Morticia is smooth, graceful, elegant. Her relationship with her daughter is crumbling, and even the marriage between her and Gomez, who, everything she says to him is darling in different languages, whether it's French, Yiddish even, and he says different things to her that mean like beautiful face. And for Morticia to go through this of, I don't even know if I know my husband anymore because he's keeping secrets from me. Yes, there are secrets in the musical. But yes, I think that's my one note, that if anyone is playing Morticia and you're on the younger side, it's not that she gets angry and she yells at Wednesday a lot as far as punishing. It's a sense of what is happening here. We used to be fine and now you changed and I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to comprehend what's going on here and I don't like it. And so I think you need to, go back to your old ways so that we could continue our normal path. I think in a way we have to be grateful for the Addams Family, because I think they were the thing that sort of broke out other people to start shooting these kind of things, whether it's Elvira. Think of people like Tim Burton. Because of the Addams Family musical coming out in 2010, it has helped like a musical like Beetlejuice come out, where it's like, hey, why not something from a TV show, movie come out as a musical? And I really like that, and I hope it continues. I think these are one of the best examples of musical theater, of feeling a sense of escaping your own world for a while, just to like have a good laugh, see a great story, and yeah, happy Halloween. Anyways, darlings, that's it for today's episode. I would love to know, who is your favorite character in Addams Family and why? I already told mine, but yes, if you're looking for more magic or more Madison King before this hair, I am on TikTok and Instagram, Care Off Book. Hope to see you there. And without further ado, take care, darling.